Hello, my beautiful rainbow people. Welcome back to the Potsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament of the Hebrew Bible, and I use the King James Version of the Christian Bible to put together the prophecy of Israel from the scattered testimony of the Old Testament prophets. It became what I call the Book of Zion, and I found contained within it a set of instructions that I was uniquely qualified to undertake. So I did. And the last thing that I am required to do to set the stage for the fulfillment of prophecy is to publish peace, which is what I'm doing here on YouTube and social media. And I'm doing it by reading to you my unpublished manuscripts, the Potsmoker's Bible and Book of Zion. I had to write the Potsmoker's Bible because the Book of Zion is written entirely in Bible verse, book, chapter, and verse. So I couldn't publish it in my name because it's not my work. That's the Potsmoker's Bible. And I'm reading to you today from the 28th chapter of the Potsmoker's Bible. It doesn't have a corresponding chapter from the Book of Zion, but it is entitled The Temple of Zion. And I'm going to pick up where I left off yesterday, or last time. Anyway, it goes like this. The spiritual truth of the drug user was revealed to us after time had passed. Our communications our conversations, I should say, led us to the realization that drug use came from pain. We each had experienced some hurt on a deep level. We sought out the drugs to kill the pain. That pain was our point of exit from society. The drugs did more for us than anything that society had to offer, except for more drugs, of course. The drugs brought us together and let us share our pain, and by doing so, healed us to an extent. That way, the drugs made life livable for us. But as we bonded over our shared pain, we found a family unit that led us to continue that healing process, so that our drug use became a ritual of friendship instead of a way to fill a need. Our shared emotion helped us to heal. We then became a family. In fact, our shared lives as the party um, of the party becoming more real than the blood bond of those who we can no longer relate to. We are always real with each other. False pretense is so undesired that we seek to always speak from the heart, where family resides. We are real with each other, bound like family in our shared experience. But the drugs do more than just lead us to inner truth. They open up latent abilities like telepathy and healing. It is a tool used to enhance these abilities. Drugs define us. Drugs heal our souls and replaces our negative vibrations with more positive ones. Drugs aren't just for good times. During the temple years, we talked about um, psychic abilities, but at that time, it was just a talk. Until the night, four of us created a vortex and that blew the nearest transformer. That was my first experience with spiritual energy. We had no idea what would happen, and I don't remember how we came up with the idea to begin with, but what I experienced in prison began with those discussions about ESP at the temple. What happened in prison is amazing. I had gone into the drug abuse unit and was getting kicked out because they couldn't do anything with me. In other words, I was a problem. And boy, was I. I made a lie of almost everything that they said and did. So I was um, unbrainwashable. What happened when I left that unit was an empowerment. By getting myself kicked out of the SAU, I had passed the final test leading to my advancement or evolution. I just opened the door to my new housing unit and I walked into an energy vortex. I felt it like a barrier being broken. I felt this energy enter my body and it filled the void of my heart. I had walked into a fragment of my soul. That part of me had always been there waiting for me, but I would only be sent to that unit if I passed the SIU's final test, which I did. The energy became the genetic switch that turned on my energy field. It was at this point that I began to emit energy from the centers of my palms. I also experienced an intensely higher sense of the life force of others. My telepathy kicked into a much higher gear, and I advanced in every way. The genetic activation of my psychic generator was a powerful moment. For my entire life, I had felt the place in my heart where that energy went. It had been an empty hole in my soul. I could feel it going all the way into me. It used to ache physically, but I no longer have that hollowed out place in the center of my being. Now it generates energy, which I can use in the real world. It is my shade, the core of me. The moment it entered my body, I was whole. I am not the first person to become whole, nor is it required to have this empty spot. But very few people on Earth have access to this energy generator. They are whole. The generator is present, but simply turned off. Anyone can turn on their soul, but it is never easy. You must first decide to pursue it, a quest, if you will. Each person must find the on switch in themselves. I have opened the door. I have flipped my switch. You can too, but not in the same way that I did, necessarily. Once you have decided to become psychic, you must discover for yourself what turns you on. Now, I'm not talking sex here. That is a different level of evolution. This inner switch comes from your personal experiences. Has nothing to do with your mate. That is a higher form. This evolution is a single soul event. It leads to the soul's evolution, which in turn leads to the spiritual advancement. Each of us has a center of being. You must find yours. This core is your reason for being in this lifetime. Your core is the thing that you are most passionate about. Passionate about. um, it could be a talent like music or a science. It could be children, teaching, painting, whatever it is about you that you are the most of. It's the biggest part of you. For me, it was defending my people in the SAU. I kick-started my generator by defying the authorities from the cops, the courts, and the SAU. I won through, or I beat them at their own game. So when I left the SAU, I was awarded my soul fragment, my generator. All I had to do was walk through the right door. So in order to activate your soul and turn on your psychic generator, you have to first find your passion, your true passion. Then you must pass a series of psychic tests to prove you're ready, willing, and able to generate energy and use it wisely. The powers that be won't give you this gift unless you prove to them that you're worthy of it. Step 1, find your passion. Because I have already won through and opened my door, I have opened the way for all of you to follow. I have the ability to activate the opening of the palms, at least for women, rarely for men. Men don't feel my energy and can't be opened up by me, it seems, but on rare occasions they can. I have apparently opened the female way. So, as I write this, I am generating energy in my palms. I can feel it. This energy is an opening for women. If I am right, many of you females should also feel your palms tingle when you read this. If that is true for you, then you too are now open and can find your own on switch. This opening of the palms is a quantum precept. If you can feel energy in your palms right here, then you can apply your will to the matrix and take control of your life force. This will override false thought forms and generate your desired outcomes. Your energy will be able to empower you to influence reality. This is the thing that makes you gray. In fantasy, this is the basis of all real magic. The use of spells and incantations is the activating of established presets on the matrix. You preset it by binding your will to an outcome that overrides all other considerations, by binding quantum particles to solid objects, which in turn converts the energy into a solid preset form. The components bind the matrix into the desired reality. This overrides all physical reality affected by the spell, i.e., this is the principle of magic, the theory in fantasy. Magic, it turns out, is real. The quantum field is the field of magic. The manipulation of energy within this field creates reality, i.e., magical effect. To become gray, or a magician, or a witch, if you will, you learn to manipulate the quantum field. This is the practice of magic. The opening of the palms is the power base of the Zionite practitioner. It is the priestly power source generated from the heart. It is based on emotions. When I heal someone, I feel love for them. If I were to be angry, that energy would harm the person I feel anger towards. My emotion determines what the energy does. That is the power of the Zionite priest. Magic isn't just for the priests. There are other forms of magic: Wicca, demonology, fairy magic, the Fae magic. These are, and the draconian magic too. There are so many ways to practice magic. There are as many ways as there are myths about it. So if you don't want to be a priest, that doesn't mean you can't learn other ways to practice magic. Magic is for those who perceive it, not just for the priests. However, priestly magic is the most powerful because only the priests have access to higher forms of energy. Magic on earth is bound to earth. Its source is finite. A priest, on the other hand, has the ability to seek higher beings who are mightier than our grid is. These beings can add energy to the priest and thus override even the strongest earthbound spell. That is why priests are so important. They protect the grid and fix magical problems because they are the servants of the higher beings who empower the grid from another plane of existence. And there I'm going to end for this session. So, may the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, keep you from harm, and teach you right from wrong. May you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it, and make that your guild choice when we get to Zion, our camp out for freedom. Stay happy and high if you use drugs. You have every right and reason to, according to the Bible. You are a potential priest of the Most High God of Israel. I am the Zion of the Most High God of Israel, the prophet foretold in Isaiah 54, and I have come to set us all free and create the nation of Zion. So I'm going to say later now, because I never say goodbye.